With the 2024 election around the corner, choosing between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris could shape America's economy for years. Who will guard your paycheck and help your savings grow? Let's dive into their economic policies so you know what's really at stake. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the economic views of Trump and Harris. From taxes and labor rights to tariffs and business regulations, we'll uncover what their policies mean for you and your family. Let's get this party started. First up, taxes, a topic that hits home for everyone. Donald Trump wants to keep the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act around forever. This law lowered taxes for most Americans, but the richest folks got the biggest slice of the pie. Supporters say these cuts spark economic growth by encouraging investment and boosting corporate profits. But critics argue that the wealth gap has widened, and the trickle-down effect is more like a trickle-up effect. On the other hand, Kamala Harris wants to let these tax cuts expire, especially for the wealthy and big corporations to fund social programs. If she gets elected, she plans to push for tax credits aimed at middle and lower income families, which could lighten the financial load for everyday Americans. But how would that affect business investment? CEOs are worried that higher taxes could slow down economic growth, leading to the big question: do regular folks benefit more from public services or from a tax code that's friendly to businesses? Next, let's chat about labor policies. Harris is likely to keep President Biden's pro-labor vibe going. Under the current administration, we've seen support for unions, wage hikes, and even a historic moment where a sitting president stood on a picket line. Harris's platform probably includes measures to strengthen unions, expand worker protections, and push for a higher federal minimum wage. Trump's take on labor is a whole different ballgame. While he's trying to win over union members, his history with labor organizations has been rocky. The AFL-CIO once called his administration catastrophic for workers due to policies seen as anti-union. Still, Trump claims that his business-first policies create jobs and boost wages indirectly, positioning himself as the hero of economic growth over regulation-heavy policies. Business regulation is another biggie. During his presidency, Trump rolled back regulations to make life easier for businesses. CEOs often cheered this move, saying it created a friendlier business climate that encouraged growth and risk-taking. But less red tape has also raised eyebrows about environmental oversight and consumer protections. Harris, on the flip side, is all about a more regulated market, similar to the current administration. Expect a continued focus on environmental standards, labor safety, and stricter corporate governance. Business leaders warn that this could slow innovation and hike up costs, but supporters argue it levels the playing field and protects the public. Surprisingly, both Trump and Harris agree on one thing: tariffs, especially with China. Trump's trade war in 2018 came with hefty tariffs, which he claimed brought billions into the U.S. Treasury. What he didn't often mention was that those costs landed squarely on American businesses and consumers, with estimates suggesting that tariffs cost a typical household an extra $1,700 a year. Harris, as part of the Biden administration, kept many of these tariffs in place. Although Biden tweaked Trump's broader economic policies, the tough stance on China stayed pretty much the same. Why? Because showing strength against China is a crowd pleaser across party lines, signaling a protective vibe for American industries. What about overall economic performance? Under Trump, the stock market did see some gains, but analysts point out that growth was in line with trends from the Obama era. Economic growth and job creation were steady until the COVID-19 pandemic threw a wrench in the works. Trump's supporters say he brought unprecedented prosperity, but data shows mixed results when compared to previous presidents. Harris, if she continues on Biden's path, may push for an economic model that focuses more on equitable growth, funding education, infrastructure, and green jobs to create long-term resilience. However, critics wonder if her policies could keep GDP growth strong or if higher taxes would put the brakes on the economy. Both candidates offer very different visions for America's economic future. Trump brings a low-tax, deregulation-first strategy aimed at boosting business and investment. Harris leans towards a balanced approach that seeks to tackle income inequality and fund social priorities through progressive taxation and regulation. As voters, understanding these economic policies isn't just important, it's essential. The choice between Trump's business-centric model and Harris's socially minded approach could shape the American economy for years to come. The big question is, which future aligns with your vision? If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth political analysis. And let us know in the comments, who do you think is better for the economy in 2024, Trump or Harris? Thanks for tuning in.